Okay, howdy folks. This is Jace Campbell with Bear Creek Tours. We're going to wait just a couple minutes and let people continue to filter in. We've got about 50 people that are registered for this webinar. We're not going to wait long though because there will be a replay for this available afterwards. Give you guys a quick background here. First off, I am with Bear Creek Tours. We are not affiliated with or endorsed by Dixon Productions. I want to make that very clear. We are just huge fans of what they do. I've been going to Musicfest for about the last 6 years or so, and one of these years we said, hey, we're tired of renting cars and driving up, and we're tired of those small shuttles. Let's have a party bus, and that's kind of how we got going, and we've been going for a couple of years now. But this webinar is really, it's helping a lot of you first-timers out there. Every year on the buses, we have people who aren't familiar with the process once you get there. And once you go your first year, you always are like, you know what, I know next year what I'm going to do different, right? And I've been going for 6 years, and still every year I find something that I'm going to do different. Dixon Production does an amazing job of continuing to evolve the festival, try to accommodate more people, adding venues and artists, and they've done that again this year, of course. And so like I said, we're just big fans. We're not affiliated with them or endorsed by them. We're just big fans of them, and we want to help you have as good of an experience as possible. Also, just so you know, we are going to get started here in just a second. Just so you know, recording this, it's 2:34 this afternoon here, Tuesday, November 25th. November 25th. We was going to do this live and try to take Q&A live. Instead, we wrote down the questions that we thought people were going to have, and we're doing it now. Internet was going to be kind of spotty on me, so I didn't want to try to do this live and then have internet issues. So did record this, hope you're okay with that, but we'll still get as much info as to you as we can and answer your questions. Topics we're going to talk about today, you saw this when you signed up for the webinar. We're talking about getting a steamboat safely. Of course, that's where we come in, and we'll do our shameless plug there. What you're probably wondering about dispensaries, we're going to talk about that. You might have called up to Colorado, you may have friends up there, you may remember from last year. Once again, we're not endorsing any of this, but you have questions, so we want to have answers. That is not a plug for Radio Shack either. Getting stocked with adult beverages, some great options there. First timers, what to expect, tips for your big groups, and then kind of how to maximize your week with everything that's going on. So, first off, getting to Steamboat. Okay, you've probably have made a lot of these plans already. You can drive from Texas. We're in Austin. We don't have these buses. We're not bringing buses from Austin. We rent buses from reputable, regulated, professional bus companies in Denver, Colorado. They're abiding by the laws of Colorado and all that stuff. So you can drive from Texas. I think from here maybe it's 18 hours or something. I'm not really sure, but if you have a big group and you want to road trip it up there, go for it. You can fly into Steamboat, and if you fly into Steamboat, you'll still have to take an airport shuttle or a taxi from Hayden Airport into Steamboat. It's one of those hidden costs you don't think about, and the round trip on that is about $50. So not only are you paying more to fly into Steamboat, you're saving some time, but you are going to have that additional cost also of the airport shuttle. And then most people will fly into Denver. From there, you can rent a car, or you can take a shuttle bus. Need to check something out here. So you can fly to Denver, rent a car, take a shuttle bus. Now, I will say, last year, if you went last year, you know what happened last year. We got about 6 inches of snow fell in Denver the night, I don't know if it was the night of or the morning of, I guess it was that day before and the night of the travel day, which I think last year might have been January 4th or 5th, I can't remember. But I drove my pickup up there, and I got to say, I don't have a four-wheel drive, and it was a bit spooky getting around Denver, being around people who actually know how to drive in the snow, whereas I don't know how. But we had like 70 people call us that morning saying that their flights into Steamboat were canceled. And it was like a perfect storm. We had some storms out on the East Coast, so I know there were flights delayed out of Houston and San Antonio because planes that were stuck out in New Jersey couldn't get down there in time, and then the flights actually into Hayden were canceled because the weather was so bad. And so you had people who were supposed to fly into Denver and then fly into Hayden, and they got stuck in Denver. At that point, most of the rental cars had already been rented out. The not four-wheel drive cars, people didn't want to get snow chains and all that kind of stuff. So we had a ton of people that were calling us. Unfortunately, we couldn't handle all of them. We were able to help like 10 people out, and that was it. Because we planned this thing out months in advance. So you can take your chances and fly into Steamboat. Like I said, I don't know how often it happens. Last year was the first year I've had that happen since I've been going. But we try to make a really just fun experience for, take out the stress of that travel day, and we've got a party bus going, right? So jump on the bus. We got 56 passenger motor coaches compared to, in Go Alpine, I'll say about Go Alpine, they've got a great outfit there in Steamboat. I know they support the Musicfest and give a discount and all that kind of stuff. We're just offering a different service. But we have 56 passenger motor coaches, restrooms on board. We'll pick you up from the Denver airport or the downtown Sheraton there in Denver. And we've got coolers on board, complimentary adult beverages. I'm excited to announce today that Lone Star Beers come on board with us, and they're going to be providing product for our buses for 21 and older only. I do need to say that. We're going to have a playlist. We've got local radio stations across the state that are making playlists, and we'll actually have some of their DJs on our buses. And so we're just going to have a good time. You might have seen videos from past years, and this isn't, strobe lights in the background and music thumping and all that kind of stuff. It's not that kind of party bus. This is a Texas country party bus, and 21 and up is welcome. And we have all ranges of people, but we have a good time. We get you there safely, and see the information's on the screen. Leave from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock on January 5th is when we're departing. The reason for that, why we cut it off so early, is you want to get into Steamboat early enough on the travel day, on the 5th, to take care of some things. We'll talk about that later on. And then on the way back, our buses, they usually actually arrive back at the airport in Denver about 12:30, but we say 1 just to be safe. We start picking up in Steamboat that morning about 8 o'clock. And we come around, we'll pick you up right there at your lodge, except for some exceptions we'll talk about a bit later. And then lastly, we'll talk about the downtown Sheraton deal, because I'm really excited about this. You can go on Expedia or Travelocity or those sites right now and get a downtown room there at the Sheraton for $189 for that Sunday night. They've given us a room block of only $119 for that night, which is really awesome. Downtown Denver's a cool place. They got a bunch of microbrews and pubs and restaurants and the 16th Street Mall area. You can go to our website and get the discount link for that. I think we'll probably send an email out after this to you guys who register also and saw this, so you can get that. But if you ride our buses, then you can on Sunday come in. You can pick any time on Sunday to fly in. You're not having to pick a really early flight in the morning, and you pick an early flight and it's a long travel day. Instead, come in on Sunday, enjoy Sunday night. Don't have to wake up at 5 o'clock on Monday morning. And the shuttle, our bus is going to come pick you up right there at the doorsteps to your hotel. So really excited about what Sheraton's doing to help us out there and hopefully make a smoother experience for everyone. Next topic, let's talk about dispensaries. Now, we are not endorsing this at all, but I just want to tell you questions you're probably asking yourself, right? So in Colorado, we've done the research on this, and we've made phone calls to some of the dispensaries right there in Steamboat. It is legal for you to possess 1 ounce of marijuana in Colorado, whether you're an in-state resident or an out-of-state visitor. You can possess up to 1 ounce in public. You cannot consume it in public. You have to consume it in private. Out-of-state visitors, however, can purchase up to 1/4 ounce per day. I don't know if that's a lot or if that's a little. I think an in-state resident can purchase more than that, but and it's per day though, and it's per location. So if you jump to different locations, you could buy more than that. The dispensary in Steamboat is it's really easy to get to, and we'll talk about the bus system later on for those of you who haven't been to Steamboat before. You do have to be 21 years of age to purchase, and you must have a valid ID, and it can't be expired. So it's just the same rules as buying liquor, buying alcohol anywhere else, and you know, with your license. I do want to show you the Google Maps, so let me jump over to Google Maps and show you how convenient this is, so that for those of you who are going, we might want to drive ourselves so we can like easily get to the dispensary, and hopefully from this you'll be like, hey, I can take the bus there really easily, so let's take the party bus, and you know, once again, a little self-serving. Let's jump over to that. Okay, so Google finally pulled it up here. Okay, so if you're not familiar, let me readjust the screen a bit. So if you're not familiar with the area, here's our mountain down here, right? And we're going to zoom in little by little. Here's the base of the mountain. Here's where all the action happens. This is where, right here, we'll look at a map later on, but here's where the steamboat, the steamboat was the Sheraton, but the steamboat, the Grand Hotel is there. You got the tent set up right here where big concerts happen. Like, here's where all the action is around the mountains. Here's where all the, your lodging is. And if we go right up here, we can see the Golden Leaf. That is the closest dispensary, and it's just we're talking about from up here to down here is just like 2 miles or something. It's not far. Steamboat has an incredible bus system. Here's the downtown area. Incredible bus system. You jump on the bus, it'll take you right there. It'll also take you to the grocery store. We'll talk about later on. It'll take you to the liquor store. So once you get there, it's not hard to get around. You don't need to call a cab. You can take a free shuttle bus. I think it's free. Pretty sure it's free. So it's super simple to get around. Let's jump back. Like I said, that's only like 2 miles away. We're going to jump back over now. Okay, so back to our dispensary. So you can that's the law. That's the law in Colorado. We won't cover that anymore because I'm not here to endorse that. I'm just telling you so you know. Next thing on our list is let's see. Next thing we want to talk about was getting stocked with adult beverages. Okay, so we've seen that Dixon Productions did actually have an advertisement a few newsletters back. Maybe it was in October about the grocery company, and when you read the plan, you can take a bus into downtown, or this is actually a great deal. Go to their website and check it out. They will come and they will stock your room with whatever you buy on your grocery list in advance of you actually getting there, and you can get your liquor and beer from them and wine and all that from them also. Now, we'll go ahead and warn you that the prices in Steamboat in general are more expensive than they are in Denver, or they're more expensive than you're going to find here, in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, Austin. It's just because it's kind of isolated up there, right? Now, did do some quick price comparisons because I personally was curious about. It's like, that sounds almost too good to be true. And an awesome business idea at that. So here are some price comparisons that we did do. So Crown Royal, 1.75 liters. That grocerycompany.com, they deliver it to your room. They're charging you $71. The Central Park Liquor, which is a local liquor store there in Steamboat Springs, only charges you $50. So they got about a $20 markup over the other liquor store in town. You can see all the price differences here. Tito's Vodka, they don't carry a 1.75 of Tito's Vodka, good old Texas vodka. So for like $4 more, you get more than twice as much if you go with their larger size at Central Park. They don't carry anything bigger than a 12-pack delivering to your room as compared to Central Park Liquor, where they will where they've got 18 packs. Actually, they've got cases. I just put the 18-pack price here as an example. I think the cases are $22 or either $21 or $22. New Belgium, you see a price difference. And the grocerycompany.com also charges a $30 delivery fee. Okay, so obviously, if this is purely about the prices, then you're going to go with Central Park Liquor. If it's about convenience for you. Okay, so I'm back now. Sorry about that. I had a call coming through, and see, aren't we glad now that this was not live? So, $30 delivery fee. Like I say, if you have a big enough group, it's all about convenience. It's just a convenience factor. With the grocery company, you can also have other, cereals and food and meat. If you want to grill out, a lot of these condos have grills, so as part of your overall food strategy for the week, it probably makes good sense for you. But once again, the buses are super easy to jump on, and will take you right off the base of the mountain from your around your lodge there, right to the grocery store and Central Park Liquor. So know that is an option. So now, to know that's an option, let's talk about first timers. Now, first timers, first off, like, don't sweat the small stuff. There's gonna be so much coming at you over these, 4 days, 5 nights. You have so many options, so many venues. Music's gonna start at noon every day, maybe even start at 11 or 10:30 some days. I can't even remember. There's a lot going on. So first off, let's talk about the check-in process. This is the number one question that we get when we've got our buses, and the buses are first getting into Steamboat Springs. So we're gonna look at this map here, and this map comes from the Dixon Productions website. So I'm not going to define what all these dots are. You can go on the website and see there's the different properties and the venues. These yellow ones are the venues. So you see right here, I think here's the tent. Here's the big tent. This tent's the size of like a football field, and they pump heaters into that, and it's where just think of a big dance hall, and that's where, big concert dance hall venue, that's what that is. And then up here you have the grand. You have some of your more intimate settings. You have the ballroom. It always makes that hell of a closing night with Wade Bowen, and getting all the artists get on stage together, and they rock out to some really long song that gets the whole crowd going. You got the Dung Beetle Saloon up here, where you've got a lot of acoustic shows happening all week during the days especially. So anyway, here's your general area. Now when you first get into Steamboat Springs, the first place you're going to go is to check in with Dixon Productions. When you check in with Dixon Productions, they're going to give you you're going to sign your disclosure form, your waivers, and all that kind of stuff. They're going to give you your wristband, and that wristband's going to get you into all the concerts. Let me say also this. This is how it's worked for the last several years. Dixon Productions could change things this year in an effort to improve the process, but we're just letting you know that this is how it's been. So if it's the same, then you will, then you know how this works. But you first check in with Dixon Productions, get your wristband, get your goodie bag where they've got your koozies and your bottle openers and your schedule, the schedule for the concerts, the venues. You get your coupons for local businesses in there. You might get some CDs and things like that they're giving away from different artists and management companies, what have you. So you get that there. But you also will get your if you buy your if you rent your skis or snowboards through them, you'll also get your certificate to go and redeem your snowboard and ski rental. And if you haven't done that yet, strongly recommend you go ahead and contact Dixon Productions and get that right now. It's a heck of a deal. It's so much cheaper than going directly to the shops when you get there. It's a very organized process. When you think about thousands of people coming into these shops in just a matter of hours and getting checked out, they have a fantastic process, both to get people through that line. So sometimes the line seems like it's long, but it's amazing how fast it goes. And so anyway, first check in with Dixon Productions, then you go check into your lodge. Okay, so there's maybe like 6 different sites for checking with Dixon Productions, but then you might have at one site you might have people from 5 different lodges checking in there. Okay, so with our buses, what we do is we take you to the first spot, and you get out and you check in with Dixon Productions. You get back on the bus, and then we take you around and we drop you off at your individual lodges, and you can check in there. Now here's another reason why this is important. At 9 o'clock the night of the 5th, once again, it's always been 9 o'clock, maybe it's not going to be this year, but Dixon Productions shuts down their check-in process. And so if the roads get bad, if your flights get delayed, if you for some reason you either can't drive in before 9 o'clock that night, or if buses are having to go extra slow because of the road conditions, and you get in after that, it's not a big deal. Like, people seem to make a really big deal about this, but you can go check into your hotels right now. Like that night, you can check in your hotel. You're not without a hotel. All it means is you're not checked in for the actual festival, so you don't have your wristband yet, and you don't have your certificate to get your skis and all of that yet. But if you're getting in that late at night, you're not going to have time to do those things anyway. You don't have time to go get your skis at 10:30 at night. The places, they might even be closed down by that point in time. So, so we try to help understand this process. You can check in your hotel, and then the next morning at 7:30, so all 6 of those locations, they might have a location here and here and over here and over here for people checking in. They combine all those and they take them all to the steamboat, to the Grand Hotel. And so if you're not able to check in on January 5th, then starting at 7:30 or 7 in the morning, I can't remember when it is, you can check in at the Grand and you get your packet and you get your wristband and you get your lift tickets. That's another thing, your lift tickets. And you get your certificate to be able to go get your skis and all that kind of stuff. The places are already open, so it's not a big deal. Like I said, if you get in a little bit late on that Monday night, just go on Tuesday morning and it's actually, I will say this, it's actually nice to start that first day out going to the Grand and scoping everything out. See the general store. We'll talk about this here in just a little bit later. Let's get back over here actually. Visit the general store early. The general store is where you've got all the merchandise for the artist. You can buy T-shirts. There's the Dung Beetle Saloon's there, so you can see kind of where some of the venues are. You can check out where the hotel bar is, which is where some of the after parties after the show people go to, and you'll see a lot of the artists around there. So it's cool getting to interact with the artist in such a personal way. Go through the concert schedule. Take the time that first morning to go through your concert schedule. The tribute show. I think this year the tribute artist is Radney Foster, which it's crazy to think that you think the tribute artist to lifetime achievement award types of thing. It's a person who's really old, and you've got Radney Foster who's in his early 50s and getting this incredible award. Well deserved from his contributions to the music. So it's a cool show to go to. It is, I don't know what day it is exactly this year. It's usually on the second or third day, and it is in the middle of the afternoon. But those tickets will go fast. They're free tickets. You don't have to buy the tickets, but they will go fast. And I think maybe they give more tickets than there are actually seats because some people don't show up. I don't know how it works exactly. I'm not going to pretend to know how it works. Kind of did just then. But if you want to go to that show, it's something to know about. I know the first year I went, I didn't really understand it and how important and how cool it was, and it's a real special show. See, then let's just talk about some of the map of some of the other venues we got. Okay, so let's jump back over to the map because I want to show you this. So on the map, we've got I should have drawn these things in the map, but here's where we have the tent, right? Big concerts. Here's where we have the Grand. We've got concerts here. We've got concerts here at the Sheraton. That's actually was a new venue last year. I know they revived it from years ago, and this is a really cool venue. Big place and pretty intimate setting actually. A couple things that are cool that you should know about though is every day, I don't know, maybe starting at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, there's a concert right at the base of the gondola, and you're not going to be able to miss it. In fact, the picture we've got right here, it's a picture we took from the gondola as we were leaving the base, and that's right before the concerts get going. You might have also seen the video on the landing page or on our website or on the Facebook page or something like that from Jack Ingram. He puts on a heck of a show every year, and anyway, great time. Shiner Bock sets up a tent down there and sells cold draft Shiner Bock. One day someone does gumbo, has a little gumbo tent going, so it's really cool out there. Another thing you should know about is I can't remember if it's called the Stargazer series, the Starlight series. It's the concerts that happen up at the top of the gondola, and the shows start. I can't remember when the shows start. Maybe like 8 o'clock or so. But it's a really nice, multi-million-dollar facility they have up there. A very nice restaurant type of setting. They clear all the tables and chairs out. They leave a few chairs there still, and it's acoustic. It's just a song swap. I think we got a video of last year where you got Corey Morrow and Cody Johnson swapping songs. It's a lot of fun, but you do have to stand in line at the base of the gondola. That's one of those concerts I strongly recommend you go to. If it's your first time, I know I didn't go for the first several years because I thought, you get done skiing at, say 4 o'clock, you go back, you might hit up the hot tub for a bit, you might grill out, you might go to dinner, and then you want to hit the concerts, the main concerts at the base of the mountain up, at 9 o'clock or so, and you're never able to fit in that time where I'm going to go stand in line at 6:30. But it actually goes really quick. The line is just because you can only fit so many people on the gondola to get up to the top of the mountain, and the concert up there is amazing. The view is amazing, looking down at across the Yampa Valley and seeing the lights, and it really is impressive. So I recommend that, in your group you figure out one night when you're going to go do that and really commit to it. Probably the first night you can, just because after that you might not have the desire to stand in line there at the base. But if you don't have the desire, someone will, because that thing fills up every year, and it's so awesome. Last year, the first year, they had the new Musicfest app out. They have updates to it this year, and they actually push notifications out to say, hey, this venue is getting full, or that venue is getting full. And so like if you're not in line already, then go ahead and try to make your plans somewhere else. They've had so many venues, they're trying to, improve the Musicfest experience for you, so you're not waiting in line places, and really informing you when there is a line so that you can make other accommodations. That's kind of I guess that's kind of spills over into our managing the lines. They've done a great job with that app of those push notifications. Say, if you see a long line, first off, the lines move faster than you think they do. And they tell you something is at capacity and one in, one out, just like other concerts or other venues or nightclubs that you've been to before. Doesn't mean it's not moving at all, but they've done such a great job of creating new venues, such as that Sheraton venue last year, and there'll probably be a new venue this year, that you're never going to be a bad artist. In fact, if you're standing in line for Roger Creager because you love Roger Creager and Roger Creager is your absolute favorite, and the line is a mile long and it's one in, one out, pick any other venue that doesn't have a line, go to it, get in out of the cold, and you're gonna fall in love with the new artist. And that's what this is kind of all about also, is expanding ourselves and seeing these, being exposed to artists that we might not have heard of before, and are fresh to the Texas music scene and up and coming, and that way we can say years from now we saw them way back when. So lastly, after parties. First timers, look, we've got our skiing during the day, of course. We've got our concerts at night. But just as important, we've got our after parties. So make friends. I will tell you that the Grand, they've gotten really tight over the years of shutting that down. If you're not staying at the Grand, then they will ask you to leave after the last concerts are over. There's usually a little wiggle room and time, between the last concert and when they kick you out. But there are other little venues around there that you can, other little bars around the base of the mountain where some non-Music Fest artists might even be, but I think even those now, like a lot of the Music Fest artists are playing kind of some little solo acoustic gigs, and who knows, I mean, you might end up back in the condo of one of your favorite artists and they've got their guitar out and they're sitting there just picking and grinning and having a great time. So make new friends, enjoy the after parties. When you go to bed at 4 o'clock, just know that you're probably not going to be up wanting to ski at 8 o'clock the next morning. Pick your times when you're going to ski. Pick what you're focused on, and once again, don't sweat the small stuff, first timers. There's a lot to fit in. And so with that comes our last slide of ski, music, and sleep. We got to sleep. Of course, you have to sleep. It is amazing how that thin, high altitude Colorado air can get you up fresh in the morning and going. But we kind of talked about a lot of this stuff already. We're talking about like from a group perspective, though. First off, I've been with groups of 4 people. I've been with groups of 24 people. And obviously groups of 24 people, you're in lots of different rooms. Hopefully they're at lodges that are maybe the same lodge or lodges that are close to each other. But just helpful tip, make a room leader for each team, for each room. And not someone to rule with authority, but someone just to let people know so you can coordinate. It's amazing how much the little bit of coordinating effort can go, especially at a festival when everyone might be consuming some cold Shiner Bock and some other things, and so get you a room leader, and have some people like making some decisions for the group, and not that you have to follow them, but at least a lot of times people will forget to eat unless you say, hey, it's dinner time. Are we going to grill out tonight, or are we going to go out to eat? Oh, let's order a pizza in. We'll talk about that in a minute. So anyway, staying connected. There are great group messaging apps. I'm not going to promote any of them because I don't really use them and I don't get them. I've tried them before. Text message and all that kind of stuff. There is kind of some spotty cell phone service on the mountain, especially when you get on the other side of the mountain. Sometimes some spotty cell phone service. But walkie-talkies, I've tried walkie-talkies too. and they work in a very limited area on that mountain. You think it's a mountain; it's all facing one side and it's wide open. But walkie-talkies, unless there's some really high, you got some walkie-talkies that are very high power, then the $20 ones that you buy off of Groupon, I'll tell you that they work when you're around the base of the mountain, but when you get up on the mountain, they don't work so well. And the group messaging apps with your phones actually do work. They just have a little bit of delay in delivery. So something to think about to stay connected. So food, that's one of those things. You're skiing, you're imbibing a little bit, and especially in a group, it's one of those things like if you don't plan food in advance, then you end up eating potato chips while you drink. The one thing we have this year is we don't have to compete with the national championship. You guys come in past years, you know that the national championship football game is always on one of the nights of Musicfest, and this year that's not the case. In fact, we don't even have one of the playoff games on the night of Musicfest. So any of you ladies out there who are tired of not being able to drag your boyfriend or your husband to the concert until after that game is over, don't have to worry about that this year. Anyway, so food. There's a couple of different pizza delivery joints right there at the base of the mountain. Fantastic. I think I've gone to Musicfest in years where I literally didn't do anything. I ate nothing besides delivery pizza for 5 straight nights, and I don't regret it for a minute. So that's an option. Also, right there at the base of the mountain, there's a Mexican food restaurant. I'll show you back over here on the map, actually. So right here's the Ptarmigan. There's a road right here, Ptarmigan Inn. Oh, right, La Montana. So I don't know if it's La Montana, whatever it is. This Mexican food restaurant, look, it's no Tex-Mex, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. In fact, I think last year of the 5 nights, I think I ate there 2 or 3 of the nights. And so it's pretty. You never know who you're going to run into there either. That's the cool thing about it. You never know. You run into an artist there, or heck, I think last year I ran into a friend I hadn't seen in a decade. So that's the food kind of at the base of the mountain. The other thing that's pretty cool, so there's some other nicer restaurants over here, Slopeside Grill and all this. There's some nice restaurants. One thing that's pretty cool, and we do this usually one night a year, is take the bus down into downtown. Downtown it's such a nice, quaint little downtown area, downtown strip, and some really good restaurants you want to call and get reservations for. And pick one of those nights where you want to see maybe one of the later shows. You really want to see Randy Rogers at the tent or something, right? But go to dinner a little bit early. When you get off the mountain that day, make the decision that you're not going to try to finish a 12-pack of Shiner before dinner. Maybe put off the hot tub a little bit, get ready for dinner, go downtown. Such a nice downtown. I'm not going to go into like the particular restaurants. You'll hear people talking about them. If you jump online, ask the concierge, ask people at your hotel. Actually, look in the coupon book that Dixon Productions gives us at check-in. There might be some coupons in there. There could even be some acoustic shows happening downtown at some of those places. Just kind of a different environment from the hustle and bustle of the festival area there around the base of the mountain. But like I said, the shuttles, the city buses are so easy to jump on and jump off of, and being free. I did decide finally that they are free. That it's really worth getting down there. Maybe you do it one year and you decide you don't want to go down there anymore, but it's worth seeing, especially if you can use a night off. So that's the end of that. And lastly, I don't know why water is on here. I think I was just making the point of drink a lot of water over this 5 days. I don't have to tell you why. We are excited also to be bringing on Onnit Nutrition. Onnit's a company out of Austin that makes all natural health and nutrition supplements, and they've got some products. They don't tout them as necessarily hangover pills, but some great nootropic products, some brain enhancers, brain stimulants, relaxers, things like that will help you. If you stay hydrated and then pick your favorite supplement. I'm obviously going to say on it because we've got some promos and some giveaways we're doing of their product for the riders of our buses. But if it's 5-hour energy or electrolyte water, whatever it is, load up for the week, and plan in advance for that. That's the thing. So that's why I say it's not a big deal to get there so early on Monday. You know, get there early is nice, but don't feel like you have to get your skis. You don't have to do all your check-in. That all doesn't have to happen that night. Spend the evening kind of planning out your week. Plan out your concert schedule. Plan out how you're going to get groceries. If you know what you want to do from a liquor standpoint, and beer and food. So anyway, so that's about all we've got there. I'm going to end this slide for the party buses. We sure would love to have you on the party bus. Like I said, we're not endorsed by, we're not affiliated with Dixon Productions in any way. We are just a bunch of fans from Austin, Texas. We thought we could do a better job than what was out there in terms of getting you to Steamboat from Denver. So load you up in a bus, and we want to take you up there. We're going to bring you back then on Saturday morning, and we've got the complimentary beverages and all that type of stuff. So if you have any questions, definitely shoot us an email. You can shoot me an email directly, jace@bearcreektoursllc.com. That's JACE at bearcreektoursllc.com. You can go to our website. Easiest way to get there is partybus2steamboat.com. And definitely, I hope I answered all of your questions here today, though. Like I said, we want to make this help you to get beyond that first year learning curve of the festival, and it's huge fans of what Dixon Production does here. So we're excited that we're hopefully helping you to make a better stress-free travel day. So again, this is Jace Campbell. Thank you so much for joining us today. I look forward to answering any questions you have from this offline, and until we see you at the Denver airport with a cold beer in our hands waiting for you, you have a good Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.